Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to NCCT Prep. This is session 2 of our claims processing section. And again, if you guys need those packets, please get in touch with your instructor. If they are not already posted in your e-learning somewhere, your instructor can get them to you, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Why is it? Sorry, folks. Okay, so NCT review claims second day. And y'all excuse me if I stutter just a little bit. I have like not an abscess, but like an ulcer in my mouth, so it kind of hurts to talk. All right, so we left off with question number 10 last time, so we're gonna pick up at 11. Which of the following should the insurance and coding specialist verify upon receiving an encounter form? Select the 3 correct answers. And y'all remember that on those questions where they're asking you to pick 3, those are definitely going to be on your exams, so pay close attention to those. All right, so select 3 that the insurance and coding specialist should verify upon receiving new patient encounter form. Any guesses?
A, B, and D.
Correct. A, B, and D. That is correct. All right, and guys, if this is not stuff you know right off the top of your head, you can always use process of elimination. That initial encounter form is not going to have an authorization number, so you know C is not an answer. They also, if it's an initial encounter, are not going to yet have a balance. So that's not going to be your answer either. So it's A, B, and D. Very good. All right. The multi-purpose billing forms should be reviewed and updated to include new and revised codes. How often? Quarterly, annually, bi-monthly, or monthly?
Is it B?
B.
It is B. Very good. Annually. Our coding manuals are revised and updated yearly, so we only have to do it annually. When completing the CMS 1500 form, where should the patient's secondary policy number be placed? Block 11, Block 1A, Block 9A, or Block 9?
C.
It is C, Block 9A. Block 9A, very good. And if y'all have not looked at a CMS 1500 form yet, you will. And block 9 is up in the right-hand corner, the left-hand corner of the page. If you split the page in 4, it's in the upper left quadrant, okay? Right under the patient's name and date of birth and all that good stuff, because there's secondary information. All right, number 14. All right, and the next few are all going to center around the CMS 1500, as you'll see. And I know you probably do not have one sitting in front of you, but there is, and I do not recall the page right off the top of my head, but there is a great example of a CMS 1500 form in your textbook. And I'll find what page that is for our next meeting, so y'all will have that information. And also you can Google search CMS 1500, and you can bring up and look at an example, a sample, because there are forms that the companies have to buy to file their claims on. Okay. All right, so 14. Box 13 on the CMS form stating signature on file is allowing which of the following? Primary policyholder, accept assignment of benefits, Information about third-party liability.
Would it be C?
It is C. Assignment of benefits. That's correct. That is correct. Remember, we talked about when the doctor goes under contract with the insurance company or the carrier, they have a signature on file, so they can put that on the claim. Very good. All right, which of the following information will result in a rejected claim if left off of a CMS 1500 form? Date of inpatient stay, outside lab, amount due, or place of service.
D.
That is correct. D, place of service. There's several things that are always, always, always the first thing they check when they are processing claim forms and insurance claims. Date of service, place of service, signature on file. Those are just givens. And if any of them are missing, that claim is coming right back to you. You have to correct it and resend it out. Very good. All right, which of the following data elements are required on a CMS 1500 form? Select 3. Date of service, physician's billing address, chief complaint, the payer ID, or the patient's date of birth. And we need 3 of those.
A.
Is A and C one?
A, date of service, that's correct.
And B.
Not C. Your
A.
B is
A.
correct.
B. And E.
That's correct. A, B, and E. Date of service, the physician's billing address, and the patient's date of birth. Again, date of service, patient's date of birth, always on there because they have to know who they're identifying, right? And the physician's billing address, down at the bottom of the 1500 form, you have 2 boxes that are, I think, are like 33 and 33B and 33C maybe. And one of them is for the place of services address. And the next one, the box right next to it, is for the billing address because it could be different. The place of service is not always going to be the place where they send the money. It could, especially if, it's a smaller satellite clinic of a bigger hospital system, your billing address may be in a whole nother state. It may be completely different than where they're seeing patients at. All right, number 17, on a CMS 1500, which of the following fields does not have to be filled out for every patient? And they give us some of our lovely acronyms. DOS, which is date of service. LMP, which is Miss Crystal. LMP. Do you remember what LMP was? You're on mute.
It's blanking on and off on my end, so I'm trying to see it.
Number 17. Do you remember what LMP, the acronym for LMP is?
Well, they have 2 different ones, so I don't want to see CMS which the following field does not have to be
Okay.
filled out.
Well, let's
Patient.
use process of elimination.
Mm-hmm.
I can't recall right off the top of my head. what LMP
A,
stands
date of service.
for. DOS is date of service. DOB
C is date of birth.
Right, and D is POS, which is place of service.
Place of service.
So which of those options does not have to be filled out for every patient?
B?
B.
LMP. Not used enough for us to remember what it is. But we know we got to have that date of service. We know we got to have that date of birth.
Date of birth.
And we know we got to have that place of service,
Place
right?
of service.
Very good. All right. Which of the following the steps are appropriate to reconcile the day's financial transactions? Select the 3 correct answers. Okay. So when you're doing billing, guys, a lot of times what they call it, it's called a revenue cycle. Okay. The way the claims process and the money comes in and all of this, it's called a revenue cycle. All right. And there's financials that go along with that you have to make bank deposits, possibly. Most of our positions do not require that kind of office work. That's going to be handled in a main money handling payment posting office generally. All payments will go through them, deposits are made through them. One department will handle all of that stuff. But it is good to know how it all ties in together and how it works. And that's why they throw in questions like this. All right, so we need 3 answers. Which steps are appropriate to reconcile one day's financial transaction? Close out batches and add the balances. Post payments prior to bank deposit. Post copays after closing the batch. Issue receipts for all services rendered. Run an audit trail.
A, B, and D.
Verify. All right, definitely A, you want to close out all your batches and add the balances. A batch, guys, every day when you go into work, more than likely the way it's set up, you're going to open up what's called a batch, and you're going to press buttons that are going to file claims all day long, right? And at the end of the day, somebody's going to process that batch and send it out into the ether, send it to the clearinghouse or the insurance company, wherever it's got to go. But all day while you're working, you're creating a batch of claims that are going to go out to whoever they need to go out to. So that's what batches are in this context. So yes, close out batches and add balances. You definitely want to do that. Next, what was the next?
B.
B, post payments prior to bank deposit. Yes, you want to get those payments posted when they come in. As they come in, you want them and accurate, guys, accurate. All right, what do you think the third one is?
D.
Correct. Issue receipts for all services rendered. And that's just a given. You want to provide your patients an accounting of the money that they spent that you took in. Okay. Which of the following are required daily reconciliations in the physician office? Select the 3 correct answers. All right, so an EOB is, does anybody know what an EOB is? You might tell me?
Explanation of benefits.
That is correct. An EOB is an explanation of benefits. Patient payments, trial balances, AR days, and AR balance. When they're talking about AR, that's basically accounts receivable days, AR balance. When they talk about your AR balance, that is the total amount of money. Like say you work for one clinic or one doctor, all right? The total amount of money that doctor has out in claims that are unpaid is their AR balance. That's money that they need to receive, accounts receivable balances, money coming in. That's what they're owed, what they're due. And one of your main jobs functions as a billing specialist is to reduce that amount, get claims paid so they're not sitting in your AR. You don't want them there. You don't want a big AR balance. You want those claims getting paid, that money coming in, okay? So that's what they're talking about when they're talking about AR balance. All right.
A, B, and E.
That is correct. That is correct. Your EOBs, those are going to come in daily, and that is what you're going to be reconciling the accounts with. The explanation of benefits and explanation of payments that the insurance companies are sending you in response to the claims that you're sending them. Okay, so that's a daily function. Patient payments, yes, you want to take patient payments all day long, every day. And AR balance. You want to keep a running total on what your balance is. All right, number 20. Fee schedules are maintained and updated annually because fees should reflect which of the following. Select the 3 correct answers. All right, so let's see. experience the providers have within their specialties, revenue necessary to maintain the financial stability of the practice, any new, deleted, or revised CPT codes, changes to any insurance carrier policies regarding allowable amounts, types of services that provider delivers.
A, B, and C.
Let's see. All right. B is correct. Revenue necessary to maintain the financial stability of the practice. Any new, your second answer is going to be C. Any new, deleted, or revised CPT codes. Because remember, sometimes these CPT codes bundle services, right? So if this is services that have changed and they're no longer bundled and you can charge for it now, your doctor's going to lose money if your fee schedule is not adjusted to reflect those changes. All right, and let's see, what's our third one going to be?
Is it D?
That is correct. Changes to any insurance carrier policies regarding allowable amounts. Medicare is one of them, and Medicaid are the most popular ones where the fee schedule is referenced the most. They have their own fee schedules that are downloadable from cms.gov. And you got to use it because Medicare and Medicaid are government. They're only going to pay what they're going to pay. They have a set rate, and they adjust occasionally what they pay depending on how the economy is going and whatnot. But those are the two that you're going to check the regularly. Like when I worked Medicaid often billing, I actually had their fee schedule downloaded to my desktop because I referenced it so often. I didn't feel like going to their website all the time. I just wanted it right there where I could open it up and check what I needed to check. Okay. So very good. All right, so we'll do one more little set and then we'll call it for the day. So number 21, office fees are set by who? The Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS, the physician, the guarantor, or third-party payers.
B.
That is correct. The doctor set what they want to charge. Their fees are set by them. And whether or not they are in contract with a certain insurance company and they've agreed to a certain rate from that insurance company, they agree to adjust their rates for that company's clients or customers, and they accept less due to the insurance instead of their full fee. Whereas if you're a cash paying patient, you may go in and pay more because you're not covered by under any insurance. The doctor's not contracted to give you a discount. All right, so which of the following documents includes details of fees for services rendered in a clinical setting? A, charge master, B, a sliding scale, C, financial responsibility form, or D, encounter form?
D.
That is correct. D, it's going to be encounter form. Which of the following are factors in negotiating fee structures? Select the three. How difficult it is for the provider to do the procedure, involves the amount of overhead expense for the procedure, the relative risk that the procedure presents to the patient and the provider, the year's conversion factor, fee-based payment method. Does anybody know?
Is it A, B, C?
Say A, B, and C. Let's see, 23. Correct on A, how difficult it is for the provider to do. Correct on B, involves the amount of overhead expenses. We got to account for that, what it takes to run our office. And C, the relative risk that the procedure presents to the patient and the provider. Conversion, does anybody know what a conversion factor is? A conversion factor is basically It's a number set by the powers that be that help Medicare and Medicaid determine what they're going to pay. Dependent, and it's a whole mathematical equation almost, depending on where geographically you are, as to what your conversion factor is. All kind of things go into that. That's what a conversion factor is. Charge information can be taken from an encounter form and entered into the patient's A, registration, B, case, C, history, or D, ledger.
D.
That is correct. Hold on. Yeah, that is correct. Ledger. All right. Y'all, everybody have a clear understanding of what a ledger is? Yeah.
Mhm.
Basically their account standing in your office. Once you get into a patient's chart, they'll probably have, a billing page or something like that, a ledger page, and it'll have all the services provided, what they were charged, what they've paid, that kind of thing. And that figures out if they have a balance or not. All right, so do you guys have any questions over anything that we went over today? Anything you want extra clarification on, or anything at all? No? Everybody's good?
Mhm.
All right, well, if y'all think of anything, either save it for next week. We're gonna finish up claims next week. And then I believe we're gonna be moving on to insurance, which is also my jam, so I'll be hosting that too. But if y'all have any questions, again, you can hold them for next week or get with your instructor in the meantime. Promise you they can find out anything you need to know if they don't know it already. So, all right, well, that's it. And you guys don't have anything for me. Oh, let me take that screenshot real quick before we pop off. Everybody say cheese.
Cheese.
Thank y'all for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day and a blessed week. And we're here if y'all need us.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.